Father Tamru has been away on a cruise. He's a chaplain taking this last 2 weeks, and it's been wonderful. So I text him, and with this famous line, I said, "How's life?" And he responds back. He said, "Happy Thanksgiving." He said, "We are in Antigua. I have a wife, and all is good." I said, "What?" And then he texts back. He said, "Oh, autocorrect. I meant I have Wi-Fi." I said, "I don't have room in the rectory for you and your wife." So what that has to do with Advent, I don't know. But nevertheless, so we come to that season now of anticipation and waiting now for something special to happen. And that's what the Advent season is all about. It's our time, and a reflective time now during this 4 weeks. And we light that candle of hope, because hope is what it's all about. In fact, the Holy Father has announced this year the Jubilee year of hope. And I'll explain a little bit about that. And we really have to take our cue from the book from Jeremiah today, because Jeremiah is going through a really rough time. Jeremiah is in prison. The kingdom is a mess. And he's in prison because he had a sense now that something better is coming. Something is better. And he saw then that this king would come from the line of David that would rescue us, that would bring justice and mercy and peace back. And he foretold of that king coming. He was a man of hope. And we hold him up today because in this in-between time, between the time that Christ came, the first time in the incarnation, and the time that he comes at the end of the ages, how are we to live? Because sometimes we're going through the same thing that Jeremiah went. We look at the world, we look at the nation, we look at whatever the political thing is, everybody thinks it's coming to an end. There's no hope. But sometimes we have the misunderstanding of what hope is. Hope is not wishful thinking. Hope is not looking back at nostalgia. Hope is looking forward, that something better is happening. Something better will happen. And it all began on that Good Friday. Jesus now was born, suffered, died, rescued us already, conquered the power of sin and evil. And we look around, has things really changed? We look at relationships. We look at things that are happening, as I said. But things have changed. And they change. We're just not attentive to it. And so we have to keep in our mind that God is not finished yet. God is not finished. There's so much greater things for all of us that await us. And so as Luke said, St. Paul was writing thinking that the end time was coming immediately. And he's telling people how to live. So by the time Luke is writing his gospel, they're really saying, well, maybe this is going to take a little longer. But nevertheless, hold your head up high. Because when that time comes, when that great thing happens, you're ready. You're ready. Because you lived according to that life. And so while we celebrate the three comings of our Lord, the first one in incarnation, the second one is in the sacramental life of the church, that he's present to us now, not in fullness, but now. And then, of course, the coming at the end of the ages. And so we light that candle of hope because we know and we need to know that God is not finished and there's something better coming. And so as we spend this time now, this Advent, keep that in mind this week. The promise of hope, not looking back, but the Christian idea of hope, of moving forward.